Please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to another special edition of Two Micks and a Wop. I always forget what episode it is. Is it 26? 25.
25.
It's episode 25. Episode 25. We have a very special guest, Dr. Dave, the psychologist.
Yes.
Hello.
Dr. Dave, the psychologist. How you doing, Dave? I know Dave personally. He's a good friend. I've known him for many years. Give it up to Dave. You have met the guy, I think. Maybe you have probably a better memory than anybody on this show. I would already guarantee it. And also real quick, we have on the side of us right over here. We have Go Fiend. Gotta mute that mic. But
mute that mic.
He's our guy over here.
No,
You're our main focus, Dave. We're gonna do the same shows we always do. Speaking of shows, be sure to subscribe, hit like, share, comment, hit us up at 2mixandawop@gmail.com. Follow us at all our socials on the
left, Mick. Yeah, I was waiting on this. What up, right, Mick?
Why didn't the turkey go to dinner?
Because it makes up everything.
Almost, because he'll gobble up all the food.
Turkey.
Hey, left Nick.
Check out the
Cack with the rack.
So
Serious.
maybe. All right. I'm
You're
gonna just throw this out here from the beginning. I should have probably talked to you about this before coming on to the show. But maybe in the back of your mind throughout when we talk, you can psychologist. Dr. Dave is a psychologist. I think I already said that, but I'm going to stress that. Maybe you can psychologize. I don't know what the word is. The relationship between the WAP and the two Micks by the end of the show. We'll see. Maybe you can get
like an informal couples counseling.
A quick little assessment.
What do we owe you? Or are we going to talk?
These are off-camera things, man.
All right.
I was going to say, man, the pay is going to be a lot, but
all right. So
I'm not paying too much.
First,
that's all I'm saying.
I just want to ask a question.
Hey, left Nick.
Hey, right,
Wop's
Nick.
gonna ask a question.
Hey.
So, you said something to me when I had first asked you, and you're like, "I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm a psychologist."
right.
And that is going to be my first question. Besides being able to prescribe drugs, what's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
That is the main difference. So a psychiatrist is a medical doctor, whereas a psychologist is a PhD. And so medical doctors, they don't even really have to know much about psychology to become psychiatrists. They just need to know how the medications interact. Whereas the psychologist, we have to do all the different psychological theories and talk therapy and stuff like that.
Okay, so basically, you
yeah,
and I are not
he's
talking
smart.
after the show.
I'm so sorry. One more time.
You and I are not talking after that. You can't prescribe drugs. We have
Right.
nothing to talk
No
about.
drugs for me, man. Sorry.
Okay, and I say
And I'm out.
you're the smart one out of the two.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
My
That's
The more-
kind
the
of how
more-
I take it too,
The more
because
brainy of
the other one is not so much learning about the person and the philosophy of psychology. It's more about learning about how the drugs work.
Right.
Right?
No, the average psychiatrist visit will be about 15 minutes, of which it normally is about maybe 5 of actual talking, where I do the full hour and I really try to get to know the person.
Oh, you fancy.
Well,
And then, which leads to my next question: why psychology? What led you to psychology?
I can actually tell you the actual answer of that. My grandpa Bob, which I don't think you ever got to meet because he died when I was like 16. I think I met you when I was 16. Big guy, much like me. And he told me at one point, you have to either work with your hands or your mind. And being a very big guy, I hated having to do any manual labor because I was always asked to lift and move whatever. So I wanted the job where all I had to do was lift a pen. And that's how I ended up becoming a psychologist, because I wanted to have the least amount of physical work possible.
But that's a mighty sword as well.
It is mighty, but light.
Gotcha.
So I have to ask a question. You used to bartend, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that was right before you dove into psychology, or was that while you were doing psychology?
It was while I was in my.
So, was that a part of learning for you, because you knew that a bartending job you'd see
that's probably
all sorts of people in and out?
That's where we met.
Yeah, that might actually be where we met, Wagon. So no, like it wasn't my intention for that, because the reason I got the bartending job was Mute's mom was bartending, and I decided to work with them. But it actually went on my resume that got me into graduate school. But I was doing it at the same time I was getting my undergraduate in psychology. So it actually did work for me getting onto my master's, was be able to write down that I was a bartender. They actually accepted that as kind of like experience in the field.
Yeah, you got your start.
Right.
Groundwork, homework.
Exactly.
Were you also a bowler?
I was, and for many years.
I was there a few times for that too.
And I was gonna say, like, I think you and I, we met maybe like 3 times, like total, but like again, it was always good times.
Yeah, 3's my number, so.
All right. I'm gonna have to halt this for a second, and I don't mean to. There's volume coming from somewhere.
If you haven't watched the 2 Micks and a Wop episode in the past 2 episodes,
okay, we're good.
Issues.
We're good. All right, sorry.
No, we've got more issues.
No, we're fine. Actually, we're actually good. Everything's good. Sorry to derail the show.
Why did we think something else?
This one's actually, I'm dropping this one for me.
Well, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I apologize. All right, so I was so rude. I rudely interrupted yourself. Let me ask you a question, which I was like, oh, it was the first thing that popped in my mind, and I sent it to a message to both of us. As a psychologist, what do you think is more harmful, hate or revenge?
I like it.
Well, I'd probably have to say hate. I think revenge, actually, because it has a point to it, can be rather useful. Even in the getting to actually achieving revenge, I could see that being very useful for people psychologically. But hate just on its own, I think, is kind of damaging.
Oh yeah, I guess, because there's no end to hate.
Right. Like
vengeance eventually has an end.
As a culmination, like a climax, and you just don't get that with hate. That just keeps going.
What if we hate the hate we have and we kill that hate? There is an end, because now we have reformed ourselves to be beyond that hate that we had.
Well, but so if the hate can end, absolutely, but that's where I would think the revenge came in.
Oh, I thought you said hate don't end.
I did, yeah. If hate doesn't end, then it's not good. But if hate has an ending, I would almost think that would be revenge.
Right. You thought you'd stump him more on that one, hey?
No, I didn't. But do you practice, obviously, right? Do you were you practicing during COVID?
I was, yeah. No, so I was working with Aurora. I literally just stopped. I actually start my new job on Monday, but working through Aurora as an outpatient psychologist, me and Dr. Hernandez were the first 2 people that actually did the whole telepsychology, where we were doing therapy through the phone lines and whatnot. We did the pilot program like a year before COVID even hit. And so because of our work doing that, they were able to actually go in format it to doing psychology throughout the entire pandemic. Not nationwide or anything like that. Just our hospital chain. She and I were the first that did it.
That's pretty cool. And that's
Yeah.
like, now you work through a hospital. You don't work like through a practice.
Right. No. So starting Monday, I'll be working through a practice. But prior, for the last 5 years, I've been with Aurora Hospital. And
that's where you got your start actually practicing.
No. Yeah. Like you and I guess we never really talked about this. So prior to here, I was working over at the women's prison up at Tachita for a couple of years. And then prior to that, I was with Milwaukee County Behavioral Health working on the mobile team, which is like the suicide squad. So we would go through all the different people that were having any problems out in the community, assess them, and see if the cops need to come and do their thing. So I've been actually doing this for probably about 18 years.
No shit.
So, but official doctorate only for the past like 7 or 8.
Yeah. I guess we never really did talk about like your profession, because I remember like maybe talking about your job here or there, but we've never had a conversation about your, goals and aspirations of
right.
Exactly. Life, you know what I mean? So it takes a pretty thick-skinned person to deal with something like that, or to just be in that line of profession. Not just a big mind, but it does take a thick-skinned person, because you're gonna deal with things. You're a human and you have emotions, and some stories are gonna pull your heartstrings. And absolutely. That has there ever been a time where you were affected emotionally by a patient or somebody that you spoke with, like where it got you so emotionally that like it affected your day and maybe even the next day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That 2 Micks and a WAP
interview. What's up?
That 2 Micks and a WAP interview.
I can think of 2. So one just happened this last year. Like throughout my entire career, working in, like, again, the prisons, the suicide squad, working outpatient, seeing 1,000 people or more. I never had a successful suicide, and I did last year. And that actually really got to me because I couldn't see it coming. Like, the guy was happy-go-lucky, had a kid, all this kind of stuff. And so I was really kind of taken aback when I found out he completed. So that one got me. The other one, and again, like, this is going to just make your podcast just a depressing podcast here, man. So I was working at the prison, and one of the inmates, because I was doing all the intakes for him. So, like, you just come into the prison for the first time, and you're having to talk to a psychologist to kind of figure out where they're going to put you in the place. And the gal, I can remember because she was a heroin addict, and she sold her 4-year-old daughter to 3 dudes for $40, no questions asked, for like 4 hours. And that little girl has been so fucked up that she's in a sanitarium. And here, my job is to make sure that this woman who did that to her daughter feels better. That's my job. She's okay, because she's getting her in prison, right? I have to make sure she can get through there without being so distraught that she can't pull it off. And so that's where I was kind of like, the fuck is my job at this point?
Wow. Did you have hold on, I think I got something to say about this. I think did you have a question, Delphine?
Sure.
It was just more of a sentiment, because I have 2 daughters, you know what I mean? And like, for somebody to fucking sell their children for $40, no questions asked, dude, that irks the fuck out of me, man.
Right. Yeah. And that's where, again, like, as much as I'm sitting here hating on that, I have to be objective, and I have to sit there and try and get her through any given day. And that's my job.
Now, how do you I'm going to pivot really hard in the opposite direction. I'm going to pivot real hard in the opposite direction after this question. But how do you muscle through that? Because there's got to be a level of you where you're looking at her like you are a scumbag, but you have to help this broad out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So how do you muscle through that?
You gotta kind of tone it out, like, you just turn it off. You can't use anything about you personally, so you just gotta more or less look at it as the job.
Like an EMT, if someone is going to prison and they, for something they hate, they still have to treat the guy like normal.
Yeah.
So you basically you have to turn off yourself and just do the work.
So we have somebody that you know personally. He's not here, he's not with us, but I had a conversation with him. The show knows him as, you know him as Smog. The show knows him as character name. So character name, and I would like to know, take us in Dr. Dave's mind, because today is the anniversary of when the Mega Powers, when Macho Man split up the Mega Powers and turned on Hulk Hogan. Can you take us into a young Dr. Dave's mind, and where were you emotionally? What emotional state were you at when that happened?
I was fucking devastated. Man. I was a little kid, and here my hero and his best pal, the fucking mighty Macho Man, they had to break up. Like I was absolutely crying my eyes out. Absolutely.
I thought that was and put it in my character name. I thought that was a good one. Now let's
join the NWO.
So on a Hogan tip, have you heard the news about him recently?
Not recently. I've heard every time I look up Hulk Hogan, it's something terrible. Like he was under like a bunch of racist stuff. He had the sex tape. There was something about his daughter. He was doing something. I was like, God damn it, man.
It's terrible, but
let's just say he's not going to be running for governor anytime.
Let's just say he's not going to be running at all anytime soon.
I was doing it a little bit like
tape. No, I want to see it.
I
don't want to see Hulk Hogan have sex. I just want to see if when he put a condom on, if his dick rips the condom off.
All right,
Dr. Dave, what do you think about him watching see that?
Turns green,
hulks up.
All right. I guess I read an article. It was all over the headlines the other day. I guess he's paralyzed from the waist down or something. Like he had some surgery. Yeah, and I guess he's paralyzed from the waist down. But then Smog says to me, "Well, if you're paralyzed from the waist down, you can't walk." So I guess he was walking. I don't know. I didn't read too much in the story. I just saw it and I was like, "Huh, that's kind of crazy." Because I was like, "Oh, Super Doctor." So do I call you Dr. Super Dave now, or Super Doctor Dave?
Right,
Super Doctor Dave or
Super Doctor.
Like the entire title, I think would legitimately be the Reverend Dr. Super Dave.
I forgot about the Reverend.
Me too.
So, yeah. Why don't you tell us a little about that? How did that come about? Because you're an ordained minister, no?
Right. Yeah, that was me, Tubby, and Mute. We decided to do that whole online Reverend thing where they ask for your name, your email, and your Reverend. And I did it. And funny enough, like I've been able to actually perform, I think, 4 weddings now.
So you've married 4 couples.
I have married 4 couples with my reverendship.
Now, are they all still together?
Yeah, actually, thinking of it.
Now, would that bother you psychologically at all, or would it get you a little bit if any of them split? Or what if all 4 of them split? Would you be like, "Geez, well, Jesus, I'm doing me"?
Yeah, like I am.
Be married with that? Would you call it quits?
I did that.
Yeah, no. At that point, I'd be like, "Look, I'm a bad luck charm, man. Don't get me to be your reverend."
I did that online stuff with I registered myself as my own service animal.
Okay.
I suck at it.
Were you a walrus?
I only have actually one more question written down, and I guess it's kind of a more it's more of a downer one. But has there ever been a time where you had to notify the authorities because of a patient?
Oh yeah, many times.
Like a lot of times.
Yeah. No, that I would say probably happens, especially outpatient now, maybe only once or twice a year. But when I was working at the prison, obviously I'd have to tell the guards quite a lot. And working at the mobile team, I had to go every single day talking to the cops about something like that. So, yeah, I've had to do that quite a lot.
Well, I didn't mean to bring it down. I don't know if you know, but we like to have fun around here. And you guys know what that means. It's time for another edition of What's That Slur? With your host, the Rock and Dr. Dave. This is working at home right Micks. You know the game, you know the rules. Up the street from Dr. Dave, but here's one that word. Take it away, what? So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show, Dope Fiend or Dr. Dave. There will be
It's Supa Dr.
Super Dr. Dave.
Reverend.
He's got Reverend.
Reverend Super Doctor. Reverend Super Doctor. I don't know if I'm not even going to say Dave anymore. You know what I mean? It's just going to be Reverend Super Doctor.
Super Doctor.
Yeah, sure.
Reverend Super Doctor. So we got three. I've gone through previous podcasts, and a real quick side note, I went through episode 21, 22, and 23 for this, and I only could pull 3 out of one episode. So this game is coming to an end. I'm telling you, once we catch up,
we need to get him excited.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
So, all right. So these are words that I had excitedly said and slurred out through the previous podcast. Try to say a word, and it could be any word. So basically, the show should be called "What's That Word?"
Or phrase,
whatever, or phrase. Sometimes it's multiple words, but these are just words. So the first word is one word, 3 syllables, 3 salamis. Salamis are syllables. Session.
One more time.
Session.
It's coming. Don't worry. Just be patient.
Session.
Sorry. And that sounds like objection.
Session.
Jenna Hayes, the craze babe.
Session.
What you got?
Got a question.
Session.
Corn of a child with a chicken in a
Session.
sandbox.
What you got?
Corn of a child with a chicken in a sandbox.
Session. And the correct slur is addition.
What?
Addition.
Addition?
Addition.
Welcome to the show.
Addition. Welcome to What's That Slur? Addition. Addition.
Oh.
Like new edition?
Now, yeah,
Like,
Okay.
like a very
addition,
special
as in,
edition
like,
of Two
map
Mix and a Wop.
or addition.
There we go.
Addition. I said addition. I said addition.
So
Addition,
what if-
not
what if
addition.
somebody- What if somebody actually
They
said
can listen later.
addition?
Uh,
Would they be right or wrong?
uh,
Since it's addition,
uh,
what if they said addition?
I don't know. Maybe they'd get a point. So,
Boring positions.
next word, 2 salamis. Space. Space.
How many salamis?
Space. 2 salamis. Space.
Jenna Hayes, the craze babe.
Space. What you got?
Face.
Oh.
Space.
I'm thinking special.
Space.
This is what you're about to get.
Special is the slur. Space.
Can I still say mine?
Yeah,
I hear it now.
IUDs are horrible as flossers.
I agree.
And
You should've
now
won.
I was wrong.
Not this cheater.
we have one more slur. 2 salamis.
That was close though.
It just sounds like suck.
2 salamis.
Oh, he didn't say the answer to that
Reverend
one?
Super Doctor.
Jenna Hayes, craze babe.
What you got?
How many salamis again?
2.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suspect?
I didn't even say what I was going to say. Suck it was my.
And the
Suck-
correct slur is
Suck it was my buzzer sound.
seconds.
I was going to
He was
say
gonna say
second.
Seconds.
But you didn't give
I
a second
said-
to even say it.
Seconds.
I said suck it.
I
Well,
say
you-
target.
Give me a. Woo! I just bit my tongue
I
so bad.
don't believe it. Love makes a liar. That's the end of the show. And with winning for one, let's get right give it up for Reverend Dr. Dave.
Yes.
Sweet.
Rules the show, baby boy.
No. We'll give him some dude wipes.
Ooh.
This is Mr. Dude Wipe is not going to take this opportunity to fucking dude wipe it up.
We should just send him
We should just
No. That is for something else. You're not going to just try and force that on to Reverend Supa Dr. Dave.
Yeah,
that's a fucking bullshit, and that's a shady thing of you to do. Look, you want to know what he's trying to do right now?
I did not mean to force it on you, sir. Is that how you felt?
This is a bottle that he's going to fart in, okay? And the rule was, or the thing was, if somebody wants it, he'll give it to him. He'll fart in this bottle and he'll give it to him.
Yeah.
He was just trying to give this to you as a prize, and I'm like, that's a fucking dickhead thing to do.
That's it, man. The fuck?
Is that right? A dick thing to do, right?
You
Big thing.
You fuck no.
Just don't open it.
I only know until I make it known.
Put it on the shelf and
You know?
just put
Fuck
it in a
outta
shadow
here.
box or something.
I apologize
Just
for
don't
I
let it
apologize for the
swallow up.
actions and the treatment from these
Let it
mix.
fold.
I appreciate your apology.
Do
Do-wop, yeah.
Do rags.
Do-wop.
This is what I have to do.
So, feel like I do. Jesus.
I feel like you.
I can't even think.
Can
I
you
can't even
feel
think
me
straight.
feeling
Oh,
like you?
do you guys have a random fact? Because I don't. Because
I do.
You do?
Yes.
All right. Well then
Yes.
since you guys
Have a
have
random
random
fact?
facts, I'll hit the
Random fact.
Let's see if you guys can carry a segment.
Appropriate enough. The word
Okay.
Reverend, as Super Reverend Dr. Dave clearly stated earlier, he is refurbished from the Algonquin, the tribes of as being as important or special to one, or as one likes to make wet, and making wetness is fun. Can we put that in the bottle?
Isn't
of
that where?
farts?
That's a random fact.
Randomly?
Oh.
So wait, now
Do you have a random?
Hold on. You got,
You got a random. hold on.
he's got a retort.
well,
Okay.
so the question is, if you can make something wet, can you put it in a bottle? Is that the question?
I thought he was a doctor.
He's a psychologist.
Oh yeah, fuck. My bad. I fuck with you.
I was legitimately going to try. Yes, of course. Why not?
Is that your final?
Go ahead and do
Mine
it.
seems stupid now. Like,
Well, whatever.
I don't even know what that was.
After that, stupid.
Yeah, it's dumbed down now. Anything after
Yeah,
that,
anything that is after that is gonna seem fucking genius. I would think.
Thank you.
All right. Fucking random fact. You can see a lit match from 2 miles away.
I can believe that, especially on water or something like that.
It's a
Yeah.
random fact.
That was like a big thing with World War II. Is that if you were to smoke a cigarette on top of one of the cruise
Oh, all right,
ships,
well, you were saying
Yep.
me?
Or Charlie, bang. Talk about Vietnam there. Did they see your cherry glowing?
yeah, I was going to say like that was a big thing was you couldn't smoke on the ships because like one of the enemies could see your lit cherry from 2 miles away and then be able to go and know where to shoot.
Especially in the pitch dark.
Aim
Right.
for the cherry. Aim for the cherry.
Yeah. So I'm sure Left Mix got a fun random fact. What you got?
So, like, they just found this 4,300-year-old mummy, like in Egypt. It's one of the
Mummy's
oldest mummies. Like, it's not one of the oldest mummies, but it's one of the oldest mummies that has been found like encased in gold.
Oh,
Like, it's not the sarcophagus. Their actual mummy is covered in gold.
Right.
And
Like a gold-plated dude, like he's mummified in gold.
inside of his gold sarcophagus.
Right.
And yeah, it's
and where did they find this?
just outside of Cairo in the first pyramid.
You guys hear about the pyramids in Antarctica?
I heard it.
There's like a massive pyramid in Antarctica. And
That's where the predators go to fight the
Yeah, that's
xenomorphs.
no, they're talking about because they said that almost every world leader has been there, and you can like look it up. There's like these 2 big holes somewhere in Antarctica. You can look it up on Google Maps, and apparently all the world leaders have been there, and a lot of scientists say that it's emitting unknown energy from it.
Well, yeah, because aliens made the pyramids.
Predators are real, dude.
Yeah.
So they are.
Aliens made the pyramids.
yeah,
Well,
like-
yeah, and
so,
I'm saying,
like-
but like you think about though, if there's pyramids on Antarctica, that completely rewrites human history, like of what we know. Because
I've always known that.
But
I didn't know that.
Oh.
But there's history that we don't know that's even written. I'm sorry, we're stepping all over left Micks random fact. I don't think he was done.
Oh, he was totally done.
Were you done?
No.
See?
Oh,
My
shit, my bad.
I was gonna plug it a little bit, just like the lead archaeologist, this badass little Egyptian dude named Zahi Hawass. Like he's written the book on everything as far as the pyramids and shit go. But like I quote, Zahi Hawass, director of the excavation team, said, "I put my head inside to see what was inside the sarcophagus. Nice. A beautiful mummy of a man completely covered in layers of gold." So he stuck his head inside the sarcophagus.
He put his
head
in the mummy.
No, inside the sarcophagus, and saw the golden mummy.
Yeah.
But he put his head in it.
Inside of it.
Yeah.
Where was the opening to put his head in? Front or back?
Hold on. Let me scroll a bit. Oh, there's a picture right there.
With his head in
Holy shit, his head's inside the sarcophagus.
Told you.
It's a story.
Holes in the back.
And that's it for Random Facts.
Random fact. Random fact. Random fact. Random fact.
Well,
that's been brought to you
guys
by Dude Wives for friends like us. Got together in a little town called Chicago in their own apartment. Why they're making wives together in a little apartment, I don't know. Let's find out more further history. But they sponsored that last segment. Thank you.
Well, now they have one more follower. Good job. And we still don't have a sponsorship.
Oh, it is sponsored? Oh, fuck them.
I just realized, I don't know how long these comments, I forgot to keep an eye on comments. It's 1017 and both from 1017. We got World of Alt Crafts at Paralyzed Right and from back surgery. Have no idea what conversation or what part that was from. Just figured I'd put it out there, let people know that, we don't hide words.
I'm a fan of you too.
We don't hide words. And he's not a doctor. He's a doctor, but he's not that kind of doctor. We can't specify that enough. He can't help with medications or broken legs or paralyzations, or he can help you with mental state of dealing with the paralyzation, right?
Correct. I can ask how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
you perform psychic surgery?
Can you make him feel it?
Can you go paralyzed? Shiba and pull my leg?
Well, actually, to your fun random facts. So I know I'm late on the segment here, but did you know how they actually somewhat cured phantom limb pain in the VA?
Hit him in the other one.
He's one of my favorite Venture Brothers characters.
Phantom limb, hell yeah. Like if you imagine, like, let's say I blew off this arm or whatever, and even though it's gone, I can still feel the pain. What they did at the VA is they essentially made this box that has a mirror in the middle. They'd have you put your one good arm in there, and the mirror would make it look like your second arm was there. And all they'd have you do is open up your hand and squeeze, and open up and squeeze. And that would actually trigger the brain to think that this left arm, even though it's gone, is now being able to relax. And they've all but cured phantom limb using that technique.
Wow. No shit.
Huh.
Yeah. Dolphine has a question for you. Say it loud so the mic picks up, but look in your camera like you did. That's good.
Okay, so you practice in a prison, correct?
Yep.
And you don't do that no more?
Correct.
Okay, are you practicing like independently?
With this clinic that I'm going to be going to, like, I'm still hired by the clinic, but I am going to be running my own practice. Yeah.
Now, do you guys you accept insurance, or what would be like a daily rate going without insurance?
So with the insurance things, I don't know, like, because each insurance pays out a different amount, but I could tell you that if you wanted to go and be seen private pay, they're charging
like straight up off the street.
What's up?
Like straight up off the street, no nothing.
Like a walk-in.
Yeah, they're charging about $150 to see.
Whopping $150.
Right.
And that's per session, not per hour.
That's per session is per hour.
Because a session is an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
right
300 a minute, you hit 61 minutes.
Well, and so that's 50.
How much leeway do you give?
One, they actually charge you 250. Like, funny enough, even that 1 minute, they would go and bump you into a whole new category that then doubles.
Now, but then that category is like gives you a 15-minute leeway. Then I'm assuming so that like, oh shit, I went over a minute. Well, we might as well go to 2:13 because you got till 2:15. Right.
Exactly.
would you meet like a WAP on the street, like in the back of an alley somewhere, 30 below, and just to help that mind for an hour?
I like how you said
that was my next question. Yeah, that was my next question too. Like
some back alley psychology.
Any back alley.
And any of your patients, have you seen like a more need that you like wish you could go outside of the box and help these people more?
One second, he's saying
Sure.
over here.
Yeah, no, there's quite a lot that you wish you could go and do X, Y, and Z more of, because, like, again, there's going to be a handful of patients that I'm going to try and do my best, but they're just never going to be able to get out of like that abusive relationship, or they're not going to be able to get their parents to understand everything I was trying to tell them to explain to the parent. And so it'd be nice if I could go and do one extra step beyond. And sometimes I actually get to, like, I actually have lucked out where I've actually been able to go and do one step beyond just talking about it, and that's worked out pretty nicely. So overall, it's actually pretty satisfying for a career.
You never be in a back alley.
It has to feel great to help people, man.
Give me that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I do music and try
Here,
to help people.
you need to hold the talking fart bottle.
Talking part bottle.
Now you can talk.
And speak.
Well, no, like I was saying, man, like I really commend you on your work, man, because it sounds like you're a good dude. And, man, like, I always aim to help people, even with my music and shit like that, man. So that's what's up, bro.
Thank you.
Oh, you do music. What's your group?
Here.
Oh, you do music. What's your group called? And do you have any shows coming up? Is your boy going to
speak? I do have a show coming up.
Hold the part bottle up.
Wisconsin. I got to show the bottle on camera to talk.
Technically,
February 17th at Skipper's Inn, I will be performing with the Nomads, who is Chucky Chuck, Insane Poetry, and the DRP. And yeah, man.
Break a leg.
Thank you, sir.
Is DRP short for drip?
Oh shit! No, I'm sorry. I just got this in. I got news. Johnny is breaking through. We got some more breaking news from Two Mix and a Wop. Johnny Chompa's here with more breaking news from Two Mix and a Wop. The Mummy has been canceled. I repeat, The Mummy has been canceled. Museums in Britain, Scotland, and all across the UK are banning the word mummy from their museums. They say it is dehumanizing, offensive, and undermines the individual's humanity. Words in replace of mummy will be mummified person or mummified remains. Back to you, Two Mix and a Wop.
I'm against that. The hell?
I feel triggered.
There you go.
So I guess Frankenstein wins, huh?
Oh yeah, Frankenstein wins in this culture. If that's how you want to take it.
No. All right, stop. Can I please? I have to say this. Okay? I have to say this. I'm with you on that because that's fucked up. Oh, that's fucked up. I mean, Frankenstein's still better, but
I got your opinion.
But that is fucked up, man. Like Johnny Choppers came with some fucked up news right there.
Yeah, and Wop was about to be like, "Yeah, I win by a cancel call."
Hey,
whoa!
I'm just a real time out. Aside from cancel culture, I'm going to let you know, Reverend Supa Reverend Dr. Supa Reverend.
No, she's fucking mummy.
Dave,
Mummy.
We had a vote. Okay, we put a vote up on Facebook. I think you might have even voted on it. I'm not sure.
I think I did.
Frankenstein or the Mummy? Who's better? Who's better? Who's cooler? Whatever. And Frankenstein won fucking hands down. So I didn't need no fucking article from Johnny Chompers to tell me that. I was making a fucking joke to go with the Two Mix and a Wop thing.
Are you talking about the monster version, like Mummy and
who's cooler? Just who's better? Who's cooler?
Well, yeah, it's the fucking Frankenstein. The Mummy's slow. I don't really want to.
We're not having that debate. We're talking about how fucked up it is that museums in the UK and Britain are trying to cancel the word mummy because it's disrespectful. It's
that bottom screen.
Who the fuck are they?
Oh wait, no, I almost did. I'm like, all right.
He's not wrong with doing it.
It bothers me. Like, I'm gonna say a word real quick. Retardation. Okay. That used to be a medical diagnosis, okay? But we grew up in such a cutthroat, make fun of each other, take zigs and zags and that people threw around the word retard so much that it became derogatory more so than a medical diagnosis. So, and that's do you agree with that?
No, actually, so it's still like all the way up until the last edition of the DSM, it was still used as a diagnosis of sorts. But even the words imbecile, idiot, and moron were actually all diagnoses back in the day for levels of stupid. So if you imagine like the like main kind of a way of testing somebody's intelligence that we use right now, it's called the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale. And so 100 points is considered dead nuts average, right? 10 points in either direction is still considered average. 10 points beyond that, high average, low average, so on and so forth. When you get down to 70, which is only 3 times away, so 30 points away, 70 and below was mental retardation, right? And it used to be that like 70 to 75 was considered an imbecile, and 76 to 80 was considered an idiot, and 80 to 85 was considered a moron. And they used to have like diagnoses of that.
I never knew that.
I never knew that either, and it's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
No, it is funny.
In retrospect.
Fuck that, funny.
So you study these books. That's part of your job, right?
Sure.
What did you say? The DSM? What does that stand for?
Yeah, I can even show you the book because this is the office I've been working on. So it's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. This is the 5th edition that we're in right now, but as of edition number 3, they still had mental retardation.
So they took it out in edition number 4?
Correct.
Do you know when that was released?
2014.
Wow, 2014 they took that out?
Right, so otherwise it was still used. Like the term was still used medically for the longest time.
That's wild.
Did Dolphin pay you through, however, PayPal or anything, to say DSM 5 and then 3 right after that? Or did you just do that?
You do not pay me. Sorry, I don't get the joke. Sorry, man.
Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt.
Inside joke.
Yeah, inside jokes.
Okay.
Honestly, what's crazy is you don't know the history behind us.
Yeah.
It's a miracle we sit in this room, but we love each other.
But to your point, Skunkle, so the retardation when you're trying to come up with like how we're getting dumb as a society, so to speak.
No. Bringing it back to the mummy thing. This is somebody, to me, all of this stuff, mental retardation, the word retard, midget now, that's a word that's not allowed to be said. I don't know where their stance on dwarf is. Now mummy they're coming after.
What about peck?
And it's all because I don't want to say any specific. I don't want to make this about politics, but somebody feels bad for somebody else because it's never that group that feels offended. It's always some other group that's fighting for the midgets or whatever. I as a psychologist or just doing what you do and knowing what you know, do you feel that like it's a societal thing that people are doing this nonsense because it's let's jump on the next hot trend? Like it's more of a how can I go viral, a hot topic or something that we need, not so much as what do we need to fight, but how can we be brought to the front of the headlines in a viral nation?
I don't know if it's necessarily about trying to get headlines or whatnot. However, I do think that we as a society have gotten to the point where we get offended much more easily and we expect people to do something about that, as opposed to back in our day, it would have been like, just shut up and deal with it. We try to blend into the society, whereas now it seems like they're trying to make society work for them instead.
Well, I think society right now is pretty damn gay.
So I know it's actually funny enough.
Of a Queer with your friend Shane.
The other night I was kicking back, feeling like getting stoned, falling deep into my couch, and realizing that I was growing in a need for something delicious, something chocolatey good. And only one thing could cure my mocha coca craving. Yeah, that was to head down to the kitchen, go over to that pantry and open the door. And when I stepped inside to grab what I wanted, lo and behold, where are my cookies? My chocolate chip cookies. Where are my cookies? Where are my cookies?
Damn it, every fucking time I buy something, it's disappeared. What the shit,
Where
man?
are my cookies? Who took my cookies? Where are my
Dude, what the fuck, man? All I wanted was a cookie, man. This is fucking bullshit.
Now I know I had just been to the store several days earlier, and I knew I had thrown a big-ass family-sized package of Chips Ahoy cookies into my cart. I remember them being at the checkout counter. I remember bagging them up. I remember getting home and taking them out of the bag, admiring their beauty as I put them away in my pantry, so that another time I could go in there and have them. But no, they're not there. And all I gotta say to myself is, where are my cookies?
Motherfuckers, why the fuck do people eat my shit? These fucking assholes, man, every goddamn time I go to the store. I swear, I can't have shit. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking
Where are
assholes.
my cookies? Who took my cookies?
Shit all the fucking time, man. I swear. This is fucking bullshit, man. This really fucking sucks.
Sprinkles.
Of a Queer with your friend Shane.
I love
So
the
that was-
sprinkles at the end.
Thank you. So that was Incoherent Blatherings of a Queer with our friend Shane.
The
your
best
friend Shane.
episode yet.
The best fucking segment, the best blathering. Yeah, I think yet. I think out of all 25, or there was what, 23 maybe, 23 blatherings of a queer. That was by far out of the fucking park, home run, touchdown, 99-yard.
You should check the comments.
I can see the comments. There's no comments. We got 5-6 people watching. I'm pretty sure our friend Shane is actually one of those 5 people watching. If you could just throw a comment, throw a like, throw something if you can. If you're out there, say thank you.
Yeah,
Because it's fucking amazing. All right.
Gather your
Touchy.
Did you I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I edited the video, right? Because I want to have our segments actually have video like that. So I threw that video together, and that song has been in my fucking head. Just that hook. Where are my cookies? And it's funny how George is, where are my cookies? We got Morgan dancing around. Where are my cookies? We took my cookies.
I am going to have that as an earworm, man. That is totally going to be in my head. That was awesome.
What on to beat?
I'll just rejoin the studio.
Yeah,
My bad. That's
yeah. Sorry, Dauphine derailed me. Yeah, no, I was fucking. I really enjoyed. I really
Cookies.
enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed cookies. That's why when I was like Oreo, I was like cookies. I wanted to sing it right then and there when he said.
Why did I say Oreos again?
I don't know. You said something about Oreos, and I was like cookies. Where are my cookies? My head right. Where are my cookies? Who took my cookies? Yeah, man. So yeah.
Dude, like I'm saying, that's an earworm. That will be stuck in my head now.
For sure. Hey, well, this podcast will be out there, and you can always go back and listen to time stamped at about 47 minutes, and we'll say 47 minutes will be right in the middle of that. So if you ever want to go back and listen to Where Are My Cookies,
I will do so. Do you actually still like make any different music? Are you still out there like kind of throwing things together?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be going into the studio with my band, Waiting on John. And anytime if we ever do a video or once we get stuff like produced properly, I'll put it out through here. I mean, I could always show you something. I don't know. I'll think about if I want to actually do it on here or
You
not.
gotta hear the blood one. That's the best song.
All right, now fuck it.
My favorite.
Maybe I'll pull it up and play it before this episode's over.
World premiere.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so it's a 3-piece band. It's me, I'm on bass and I sing, and my brother plays the drums. Animal. He's an animal on the drums, dude, for sure. And then Chuck plays guitar.
Chuck's got a yeah.
Because I know I've told you before, man, but you actually are an incredibly talented singer. Like the first time I heard you croon, I was extremely impressed.
I appreciate that. And you know, it's funny that you say that. I don't want you to think that I haven't forgot that fucking, I don't know, probably years ago that you made a comment on some post I put on Facebook about YouTube that I should do a Frank Sinatra song and put it out on YouTube. And I still plan on doing it. Don't think
yeah.
Yeah.
No, again, you have an amazing voice, so please do.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, for sure. Especially coming from you, you know what I mean? Because I know you won't. You'll be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like if you sucked, I'd try to say it nicely, but I'd be like, maybe you should pursue other passions. But no, you actually got a really good voice.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man, for sure.
But we're too old for all that shit. That's why we're two mixing a WAP.
Well, that's part of
the side band.
Well, I'll fill you. This show is not, I don't want to keep repeating the same things, but we do let people know what we're about, because Two Mix and a WAP is not a podcast. That's why this is called Not a Podcast, because us three are creating a sitcom, and that's what Two Mix and a WAP really is.
Yeah.
This guy was like, well, let's do a podcast. And I'm like, nobody knows who the fuck we are. Wouldn't we do that afterwards? And he's like, so what? Let's do this until we're doing that.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right. So
you had mentioned that on the Pete Mitchell one, and so like back in like when I was 17, Big Jim and I wrote that one script that we tried making that you were actually in. 20 years later, I actually wrote another script just last year, and I wrote another one this year with my buddy Pat, and we're actually going to try and take into some competitions. You might want to do the same, because there's a ton out there for like getting your sitcom out into competition to see if you guys can actually get made.
That's definitely, because I mean, we have one script, or for one episode, that's fully completely done, and then we have like pretty much we had our first pilot, kind of like we sat down and kind of like storyboarded like where the arc was and where things were going and what we were going to do and whatnot. So we have like general ideas of multiple episodes. The one was actually sat down and written, and I don't know. I'm excited. I want to start recording, but us have to sit down and start writing again.
Doctor, can you tell me what that anger was all about?
Right, what the fuck was that all about?
Was he like protruding?
I'm not even a psychologist, and I shit about that.
Projecting.
Doctor.
That is projecting.
No, he protruded too.
No, he was projecting.
Tell him, Doctor.
The insistence was profound on that one. Yes, it was definitely a level of anger.
Was it anger, or was it like sternness? And is being stern driven by anger?
It can be that authoritarian kind of style, but yeah, no, like this one I took as the insistence. We're actually more or less suggesting to both Micks that we should go and get into writing, as opposed to being like, fuck you, let's do it.
You're
so
right, wrong. I really saw it as
You're having a stroke.
The bottle's right there, baby.
Bottle.
Low into the cup.
So, to write Mick's point, that it did come across as somewhat crying, whining. As you can see, I'm just going to kind of go with whatever any one of you says to try and help out at this point.
Now, is that? No, we don't want that. I don't want that at all.
We want you feel better about being told that, so you won't cry more. I understand, Doc.
Thank you,
Reverend Supa Dr.
Ah, fuck, my bad.
Wait, let the game change.
I'm sorry that
I should rename myself to the whole thing so you guys can just see that.
Yeah, that would probably
If you got that appointment for Bob at 2 a.m. in the alleyway, it's not me, I swear.
Dr. Dave, where are you located at?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, alley.
Okay. Then you wicked Wisco all day.
All right, sorry. Let's see. You guys can talk for a second. I'm just doing something.
Rough Mick.
Right, man.
So,
Dr. Dave has something to say.
Reverend
Supa Dr. Dave, my man. And
So what I was going to say is, if you guys are actually going to get into writing, like I try to do at least 5 pages a week. I just try and force myself into it. But you'd be surprised at how much you actually knock shit out if you just keep up at it. So if you guys really do want to make that, I hope you follow through.
I feel like I paid that $150.
I put myself to 2 hours of writing lyrics, not lyrics. I call them masterpieces. I do that 2 hours a day. It's been going on for almost a year.
Thank you for the title change.
Yeah. So
no, but the lyrics again, if you can do that, then trying to get into the sitcom absolutely would work out.
Well, really,
is it going to be a sitcom or just a show, or what are you guys going to do with it?
It's a sitcom,
not
like
a podcast.
It's not a podcast. So the way we've been describing it, or the way I've been describing it, is a sitcom inspired 2/3 by It's Always Sunny and 1/3 by Letterkenny. So,
and I say it's 3 friends in their
3 friends in their 40s, failed actors, musicians, producers, writers,
and now here the fuck they are. Let's see what they do in their past as they relive it, the present as they do it now, not on a podcast, or in the future and what may come. Will he get a sex change? Will he not? Will he stop crying in an angry way?
Will he ever make fucking sense?
What? No. Or maybe. Probably not.
Well, so if you guys went more like the League.
Honestly, I felt like I was sitting in a boardroom right now.
Well, and that's the thing. The first episode we wrote, man, it spilled out of us so quick. And it's funny, it's because the first episode is revolving around water, that I would say it spilled out of us so quick. And we wrote it in, like, it was fast, man. We wrote it in what, an hour or two? It was quick.
We wrote it quicker than someone could put a fart in a bottle and send it to someone.
It was definitely quicker than elderly porn.
Yeah, even and talking about, like, even wrote in script form, everything. You know what I mean? Like interior, fucking blah blah blah, all that. You know what I mean?
Money shot.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, you guys were like a screenplay essentially.
Mm-hmm. What's elderly? 70 and older, yeah. I got something you gotta see.
We'll talk after the show.
Speaking of elderly and older, let's flip it completely to the opposite end of the spectrum, and we have some messages for Morgan.
Morgan. Hi. How are you? I am also just fine. Well, I know you've been bugging me about the crazy babes, and mommy and daddy say there may be a little too out there for you. Maybe they'll give you nightmares and stuff. Well, tell mommy and daddy, guess what? Mommy and dad, guess what? Now there's a whole new line of them that it won't even give you nightmares, and you don't have that excuse no more because it's very happy. It's got a big heart on it. The heart is the theme for this set of them. In fact, they're called the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Collection of Crazy Babes. That's right. Everybody can now get their own collection of crazy babes through the St. Valentine Massacre. The massacre. In the masquerade, or however you want. See, you thought I messed up there talking to you, but I didn't, because what I was trying to get to was also you can pick your own theme, Crazed Babe. That's right. Get a hold of Mother Craze. You can get a hold of Mother Craze through Right Mick. Right Mick, get a hold of her, let her know this is what the people want. They want a Crazed Babe of this certain theme or this certain name, and then he gets their very own theme named that you named the theme for. That's right. Well, I see this is running kind of long. Bye, Morgan. I hope I answered all your questions.
Did we just sell out?
Everybody was watching.
I don't know what's happening. It's hard
when it's not soft.
Reverend Supa Dr. Dave, I'm gonna get real with you. Friend to friend. We've known each other for Jesus, what is it? Almost like 2 decades or something. It's been a long time.
Hey,
hello,
old friend.
It's hard to do this show sometimes. You know what I mean? It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I gotta at least try. I try and keep us on a track. You know what I mean? And he wants to hike in mountains, and he wants to go to the circus or something.
Hey man,
it depends on the day.
Things that I've done
my
entire life.
I'm not.
200 miles across the country, man.
I didn't mean it like
so much time above 10,000 feet.
Maybe
I'm proud of you for what you do. I'm just saying, like,
I'm doing it.
I was doing a metaphorical thing.
I had a few more.
Proud of me too.
I gotta go.
I'll bring you back some popcorn.
Yeah.
No, but Left Mick, I was actually following your journey on Facebook, man. I was like super impressed with what you were pulling off there with the long ass hike.
Yeah,
like,
I was too.
Incredibly impressive.
Thank you.
And I heard you did it out with a corn cob in your asshole.
Yep, the whole time.
Even more impressive, really.
I mean, like
that very
shitting in the woods is a pain in the ass when you got to dig a hole every time.
Right.
You got to take a poop.
You got to do what you got to do.
Throw that corn cob up there. Let it, and like once you get into town to resupply, you get a hotel room. Wash all your shit. Fucking
you wash the corn cob.
You pull the corn cob out. No, dude, it's like a wok. You don't wash a wok. You just kind of
let it
rinse it, right?
No, you wipe it.
You mix all the flavors.
So you just kind of like take the corn cob.
Invent the new food.
Maybe like I used to like take like a fabric softener sheet and kind of like rub it outside of it just because it kind of adds a nice little fragrance to it and a little bit of like softness. Before
they got dude wipes now, right? And they're in minty flavor.
What are dude wipes?
Dude wipes will help you out instead of the corn cob. Probably feel even better, but it won't make your corn taste that much better.
Oh, but they are heavy packs.
That's
and
just
I'm going for an ultralight thing when I'm trying to hike 2,600 miles across the country.
Reverend Supa Dr. Dave, how many of your patients do you think would like a crazed babe?
I could actually tell you I probably could sell 10 of those right now.
And that's just off the top of your head.
Yeah, easily.
Totally sold out.
Well, send them to 2mixandawop@gmail.com. 2mixandawop@gmail.com. That's the number 2. Everything else is spelled out. I think it's time. We get a little
bit serious now.
Yeah, we need to hit a little
time to get serious.
Time to get a little political.
My dear.
Yes. Thank you. What is you? Oh, shit. The talent's on this guy. He's gonna beat a minute. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yeah.
So they have done it again. They have flicked the bean. Dumb, stupid government, man. What did they think? I don't understand. You know, they want to eliminate the debt. It's $770-something trillion that they just want to wipe out for no reason. But if it was the average everyday consumer or the small business owner or, independent, contractor or whatever it may be, they don't want to wipe away theirs. But the government can wipe away their debt. How is this that fair to us hardworking American people? It's not. It is not at all. And, and I hate to say it too, but, they did cut the taxes. And I told you I was right. It's just not. I'm tired of it, man. I'm just tired of it. The government taking advantage of its people. And there's just no excuses for it. And on top of it, they want this CBDC digital currency, whatever. I'm sorry, I don't want to be in electronic prison. Basically, you know, your house and your watches and everything else are already controlled by computers. What's next? Our money? And then what happens if you end up like Kanye? Say something wrong and they take away everything. Then what are you going to do?
My limit's about 30 seconds.
Woo! Oh shit, you beat him! Left Negro!
Was that all in one breath for you? Yes. Oh man, he did. He beat me. I'm lightheaded as shit, and I also did,
right?
You know,
Super
I also
fucking like
But
black
We
snow.
lost 4 viewers.
He's used to relaxing his throat more and stuff. Anyway.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
that
We
makes
lost
sense.
4 viewers.
But no,
Was that a new one or an old one?
that was a new one. He did predict that though about the taxes.
Yeah, dude, I got like railed.
It was funny because when he did his taxes, I was actually sitting
get
right in this chair, and he was over there just off camera, and he says, he's like, fucking, he said, Mundiaz. I said, like, what? He's like, dude, he was right about the taxes. He's like, I got hit hard as shit. And so did I. So did Georgia.
I haven't had
Everybody.
taxes since George Bush was president. George Bush was president the last time I got taxes. Just saying.
Well, damn.
We can edit that out.
Huh?
No, he's filed. He just never gets anything.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, it's called child support. No, they only take state.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
fuck you, they don't. That's all right, though. I mean,
That's crazy. I haven't gotten to do my taxes. Has it been that bad this year?
I guess. Yeah.
Shit.
Mine was like, we'll say anywhere between me and Georgia put together. Well, Georgia, I would say Georgia made more money this year and made significantly less in her returns this year.
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
I made more.
And I made the
this
same
year
amount
than I made last
that I
year.
always do. I'm always about the same amount.
I made a lot
And
more
I
this
made
year.
took a significant loss. I don't want to put numbers out there. I'll give them to you not online, but
that's why I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, but there was
under the
there was this
table.
whole conversation that this was built into, like, again, not to go political, but like Trump's tax setup that he wanted was set up so that once he left, that it was going to start hitting exponentially for the next 3 years afterwards.
it's tied to the stimulus, I guess,
Yeah.
that stimulus payment.
No, that might be
Paying
too.
that-
Yeah.
Paying that shit back. So it's like, hey, you know, here, we're going to help you out. Just don't forget about us.
Take it back now.
You won't forget about us.
Don't you?
Forget about
Stimmy.
Reverend Supa Dr.
Oh,
all right.
All right, yeah.
Awkward silence. We just can't sing Breakfast Club together.
Reverend Supa Dr. Dave, can you do one weird thing right quick?
yeah.
Text and or messenger, so it's up to you. Go to your third one. Not the last one you did, not the one before that. Go to the third one and just randomly read it. Text and or messenger.
Okay.
If you don't want.
If it's a pic, show the pic.
Yeah.
It better be a pic.
Naked, naughty, crazy person you talk to.
Yes.
Well, the third one would have been from Dooch, and it was a clip of WrestleFest.
Time
that
out.
he
Time out.
sent over.
Time out, because listeners, lurkers, right Mick, left Mick, and Dauphine do not know that Dooch is your brother.
Right.
El Duce.
I did not.
El
know.
Duce.
Yeah.
So it's some guy playing the Royal Rumble of WrestleFest. So a lot of wrestling references tonight.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So that would be the third one.
So random third fucking message. That just happened.
Speaking of random, I would like to show you and the rest of the world a little clip from backstage right before we started the show.
son.
Dirty snow.
Eat that shit.
That's a story, son.
Eat that shit.
That's
Fix
a
it,
real son.
Eat it.
That's real,
Eat
son.
it.
That's a real son.
Eat it.
That's sheet snow, son. Real sneak snow. Real sneak snow.
Post that after the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be known as the eat snow guy.
Nah, eat
That's
that
real
shit.
seat snow, son. Real seat snow.
Come
What
on.
am I doing? How many time I get around you, motherfucker? Hey, you want to see some real shit? I got a life scar from Weg. See it?
Okay,
Yeah,
cute.
remember?
Eat that shit.
Remember?
Eat that shit.
How about this?
He's not gonna eat it?
I don't know.
Oh. He's not gonna eat it?
Not it.
Why you not gonna eat it?
See?
Why you not gonna eat it?
You want to maybe, no, for real, next time, maybe throw that at
Throw
Yeah,
snow across a bunch of electrons.
Shit,
Probably not a good idea.
I apologize.
Now you're gonna eat some real
No,
shit.
sorry. Sincerely, I apologize.
No, you're good. Not a drop came over here, so.
See, I'm precise.
All right. Here. And
Precise.
be nice with these. These are my sons.
I got you. Dude, I'm a gamer. I get it.
Hey, 53rd. Good seeing you, bro.
So that happened right before we started.
And
There you go.
I didn't
He said,
realize.
I'm not gonna eat it. He ate it.
I didn't realize
Wait,
so many
was that?
inappropriate things were.
Where was that?
When did that happen? Was I here?
You were sitting right there.
You brought me the chair where the snow came from.
You were there?
Essentially, you were the supplier of the snow. Sir.
Thank you.
Everybody watched you sitting
See,
right
or
there.
left wop.
That is left.
Mick. Mick Wop.
There's only one WAP in this motherfucking place.
Oh, gee, thank God.
That's left supplier over there.
Thank God.
I love you, John.
I don't remember that.
All right. Well,
I think that's
well, that was cool.
He likes snow.
that's a deep fake right there.
It was a deep cut.
I wasn't actually there.
Thank God this guy ain't got a file on all of us.
So
Yeah, what is your representation of this podcast in general? What would you consider the human beings that host this show
podcast.
like retards or
Wow.
no?
I'm pretty
that's
sure
what-
I don't know if you were with us for this podcast that you've
thought
been
he was
sitting there the
there.
whole time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're sitting there the whole time when he pulled up the manual and said that fucking it was 5 and they took it out in 3 or took it out in 4. It was last in 3 that term the R word. They don't use it. We say frittata. So if you want to
Damn, dude.
say
Now I'm
that,
hungry.
you know. but-
Good memory on you, skunk.
Thank you.
It was taken out in 2014, by the way.
Very good.
Yeah.
Like shit, John, man.
Yeah.
You guys are on it.
You were a bartender before that, and you were studying your craft.
Stop.
So you let yours truly.
Very like you guys are like on point, man. Holy shit.
Well, that's actually good. So now listeners, lurkers, and everybody knows we actually do pay attention when we
Huh?
speak with our guests.
What? Huh? Oh, to the guest. What? Did you remember frittata?
It says skunk. There was a track you were trying to keep them on, man.
Mhm. Yeah.
A frittata's corn or flour. Monday. Shit. Did I do that?
There's also
I like how
there's
he
so
said
many
flicking the
moments.
bean.
I call the Jesus Christ moment. I let it known too. Like it's like just Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Ripping off Chris Cornell over here.
What? I don't even. All right, controversial take. I don't even like Chris Cornell.
Oh,
Never really
I
did.
thought you said
That's a
his cover of
controversial
Cases
take.
was the
I
best.
don't know. I guess people get really upset about that when people say that. I didn't like. I think the best thing that he ever did was Rusty Cage, and that was
I think Chris Cornell
yeah.
hosted that MTV show. Fucking-
No, he was a singer of Soundgarden, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're thinking
There was
Chris,
another Chris
Elliott.
Cornell, though.
Elliott, yeah, he had that one arm.
I do it with my strong hand.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah,
he
that's
did
the guy.
MTV show, that
Yeah,
singled out show.
Yeah,
Chris
no.
Cornell. There was a Chris Cornell, right?
Yeah, Chris Cornell, singer of Soundgarden and Audio
And
Slave.
and he also
And,
was the host of,
Chris Elliott. He's got
who did
one
that
big
song?
arm, one
I'm
little arm.
going
Chris
hungry.
Elliott.
Temple of the Dog.
I wouldn't call him retarded, but
That was
he
that was
I just remember that
Pearl Jam and
MTV shit singled
Pearl
out.
Jam and Soundgarden supergroup, if that's what you really want to call it.
the real sounds out of
I guess
Seattle
that's
was
classic
Alice in
rock now.
Chains,
That's
huh?
Yeah.
You know what really makes you feel old? Reverend Supa Dr. Dave, I'm gonna tell you what makes you really feel old. Flip on classic rock and listen to the songs that they're putting on that station.
Dude, 95.7 is our oldies station up here in Milwaukee. And when I heard Mambo number 5, I was
Stop.
like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's like 23 years ago.
Yeah,
Think about that.
yeah.
You know, like I keep thinking that like the 90s were just like the last 10 years ago. So
that's the big thing when people
Dude,
talk about the
yes.
90s and like all that stuff. And I think of like that whole music wave that was like around when we were in high school, like, you know, Korn and Evanescence and 90s metal and 90s Chumbawamba and 90s pop and all that stuff that we heard a million thousand times. And that's oldies.
Real guitars,
It's
real
oldies
bass,
now.
drums.
It's not anything other than oldies.
What you gotta think?
Well,
when
I remember
our parents oldies and shit. That was only 20 years past their time.
But
too,
that's
you know what I mean?
different to me. To me, and I'm sure to everybody in this upside down triangle, oldies is Led Zeppelin, Ozzy, Rolling Stones,
Real
Creedence,
guitar,
Clearwater,
real bass, real drums.
yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they
Like,
made music. Remember that?
why was it so hard for me to say revival right there? I said Creedence, Clearwater. I think I had a stroke. Check the
That's gonna
tape.
be a
CCR,
slur.
man.
next slip. Yeah.
Remember, next week's slur, sir.
So,
But to your point, like, so the 90s, like I'll actually reference like, oh yeah, Poetic Justice, that just came out a couple of years ago. I'd be like, fucking Tupac was alive. Like, holy shit. Like, that's how, like, it doesn't seem like it should be that long ago, but it is.
yeah, it's crazy when you think about time. And can you give us your a psychologist deals with philosophy, right? That's what you deal with. Like, is that
To a degree, like a personal philosophy.
like what is your
What's your mantra?
what is okay? What is your take on? Oh my God, Jesus Christ! And I hit a brick wall right there. I don't know what happened.
Well, to your point, Wagon. So, like, what's my mantra? I don't necessarily have one. Like, I kind of, again, if you were to ask, like, what I try and do in therapy for people, I'd more or less just go with whatever they say personally. But for me, I guess my mantra would probably be like, just keep trying, because at least you fail better every time, you know?
I like that.
So I think that would be my mantra. And I suppose I use that in therapy as like, you know, there's always another chance. So might as well just keep going for it.
I agree, and thanks for helping us like get rid of that brick wall, the WAP over here, and having really breaking it down. You know,
Right, try to give him some time to like get himself around it. You know.
See, now I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Tell me if I'm wrong, but he mentioned that because he's seen me over here and it's fucking been eating me. Like, I still can't even. I have no fucking idea. I couldn't even tell you. And when that point happened, I couldn't even tell you what we were talking about 2 seconds prior to that.
Time moving on. So I think I'm about to ask, like, when did I feel like the oldest or something like that?
No, I was actually gonna ask you. Thank you. What is your like philosophical take on how time, as you get older, moves quicker?
I think because everything is so much the same. You know, back when you and I were, everyone when they're growing up, there's so many things that are different any given day and every given year. Whereas you and I, we more or less do the grind at this point. We're going to work 40 hours a week. If you have kids, you're going to be lucky enough that you get to kind of live through them. But otherwise, it's just Monday is the same as Tuesday is the same as Wednesday. And it just keeps going on for a while for the most of us.
All right. So then is that why, in your opinion, is that why you think society nowadays, like 40-year-old females and males, want to act like they're 20 and you know what I'm saying? They want to be popular, they want to be viral, they want to do TikToks, they want to dance, they want to go out, they want to live their best life because you YOLO, you know what I mean?
Well,
like I see a lot of people do.
Well, but
90.
to that point, though, I mean, these are our midlife crises. Like, we at this point are at the middle. You know, if we are lucky enough to make it into our 80s, you know, and die then, we're at the midlife. And so this is where, like, a lot of people were going out and grabbing the Corvette, you know, or they're going to go and sit there and try and find some 20-year-old to go and suck their dick. Now is our version is we're going to do TikTok. And so I think we got kind of like the lousy end of the midlife crisis, but that's what it looks like.
Would you say midlife crisis by Faith No More influenced anything you said tonight?
No, I love Faith No More, but yeah, would not go with it, but love the throw in.
I appreciate it.
It was a good toss.
It was a good segue.
Yeah.
into it. Like,
Yeah, but he missed it. Let's see.
So
He's talking.
can I ask you, what is your professional perception of Two Micks and a Wop?
I think you guys have something good here. I like truly to the point that you're trying to keep on track. Wagon, you're much more of the color commentator on this, and then Sean, like you're kind of bring in every once in a while a little bit of like reality, but you're the unknown, you're the X factor of it. So you guys do have a good dynamic going. Dope Fiend, I'm not sure if you're actually a regular part of this or not, but having that kind of behind the scenes guy that throws in his 2 cents every once in a while, you guys really could make something out of this. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Well, thank you. That
I knew
means a
I
lot.
was useful.
I
I told you guys I was useful.
And actually,
Expect
no,
I think
This is coming from a smart guy. That smart guy just said that I'm something.
But I will say
Yeah,
this.
You don't even know I'm colorblind. What you
I'm
know?
talking, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm actually a fan of the podcast. I've watched several episodes, and
You need the bottle.
you know,
The talking fart bottle.
shit.
That-
okay, I don't have the conch.
No, you don't.
Well, so to like the point where you had the crickets going a little bit earlier, I'm not sure if you're looking for like
That's our new
constructive
one, by the way.
criticism or anything like that, but
Yes, please.
the couple of bits that you've had to break up the kind of the conversation, excellent. I would probably just add like 2 or 3 more, just kind of give it a little bit more.
You said there are more.
We have okay. So how many segments do we have? There's the game show. Well, who knows when it's gonna end?
Soon, hopefully.
There's the game show. There's incoherent blatherings of a queer.
Love that one.
There's random fact. There's flicking the political bean with Mundiez. There's messages
Character
for
name.
Morgan. Character name. So that we have 7 segments.
There's
Yeah.
If everybody
The news.
pulled their fucking weight, yeah, that was an aggressive
Here he goes again,
stern
projecting.
or cry, how projection, however you want to fucking say it.
Protruding out of
Protrusion.
me.
Protrusion.
Whatever.
Look
If-
him in the eyes and say it, John.
I've been.
Please.
Tell me I wasn't looking in the eye the whole time I was saying that shit.
Rod.
Who
Uh,
are you talking to?
the world, baby.
So
So
never stop.
if everybody pulled their weight for every episode, it would be filled with segments. But
Sometimes, I don't know. One person wants to.
Sometimes.
Sometimes people don't want us to really pull that way because they want to be the savior and they want to be the
Oh, no, I'm dropping
poor
it.
man, and that's okay because
Oh, you're
now
right.
I'll be honest.
Gucci, bro. Everything is
Like
weird.
there's like I don't want. Here's what I
Oh, did you move the camera?
and you can you.
Yeah.
I appreciate any retort that you give towards anything because you are a very intelligent person, not just as I know you personally, but by craft now. So there's that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, don't thank me. Thank yourself because you did that shit.
say
So,
self. Damn good job, you.
I don't
Yep.
want to force anybody to do anything, but I really want everybody to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, Curtain revealed, especially like character name. Like he is probably one of my favorites. Queer is all in now, and it's fucking great. This one was by far the best, and I only feel
Yeah,
like
that
they're
was
gonna get
amazing.
better and better
It's fucking
because
amazing.
they have been really good. And like it's just like Mundiez. If I don't hit him up and say, "Hey, you got a political bean for me," then I don't get one, and I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? But then I there's a level of like, well, if I don't do that, then I'm not just taking it away. I'm taking it away from everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I got to tell myself you're not just being a stern dick or
You
you're
hear
not
that, my
just being
dears? You're on
needy.
your way out unless you straighten the fuck up.
You're not just being like needy or pushy or whatever. Like if you don't do it, it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, that means we don't have a segment. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's kind of exactly it. Is like if it becomes stagnant, that somebody has to fill the gap. And so, like, if you're not going to be the one pushing somebody to go and get those little bits for you, it's just not going to happen. And so it's kind of like,
Mexican. I get it.
Well, like kind of like how the research end of psychology, if it's publish or perish. If your name starts getting out of the like main talking points, you're essentially just going to become obsolete. You guys in your infancy, if you don't have anything to kind of work and build off of every single week, you guys could easily kind of go the way of the dodo, like a whole bunch of other not a podcasts.
They're bringing the
But
dodo
you guys
back.
do.
And that's the thing
I saw
too.
that in the news.
Like
They
you
are bringing
said,
the dodo back, as well as the mammoth in the next 4 years.
Hear about their butts in 2 weeks.
Dodo's butts?
Yes.
so Jesus Christ.
Featherless.
Yes, that one.
Featherless.
Point.
As you said, all the other not a podcast, we are, as we've been our entire life, whether it's music or writing or whatever, we're a day late and $1 short. We're jumping into an extremely oversaturated market on an oversaturated platform, doing an oversaturated thing. You know what I mean? Like, now give it, we are individuals and we do it our own way. And there's definitely levels of comedy that I'm sure nobody else has in this. And it's hard and it's grinding and it's back to like, when we were younger, when we were doing shows and shit and concerts, we would have a street team is what we called them. So when we had flyers and shit or shows, they'd be on the street handing out these flyers. And like I was telling Right Mick, I was like, we need a screen team. We need people that are designated to the fucking computer to sharing shit on Facebook and on Instagram, and even that, it's hard. You gotta be doing it all the fucking
we told
time.
you right here, right? Look at
Well,
the camera.
and
Will you
so-
lead our screen team for 2 Micks and a Wop? Can you do this? Can we trust you?
is this Dope Fiend you're talking to or me?
Yeah. Sorry, Doc.
I mean, I've been known to be a promotional extraordinaire. I worked with a group called Dark Half for many years. I produced for Tech Nines.
Okay, name dropping.
things like that.
So,
Hey, I'm
Look
giving
at
my
me,
background,
Louis!
man. I mean, shit. Yeah, I do it.
yeah.
I do it. Fuck around and do it.
Well, there you have it. We have our first official member of a screen team, and our screen team started. But anyway, the point being is
You're gonna have
that
that shit.
Do you guys remember when I started?
And we fucking appreciate it. The New Year's Eve, the year-end show, had all this shit lined up, right? Nobody fucking showed up. Okay, he didn't either. But he was the only one. He was the only one throughout the whole thing. Oop, I'm there quick for the response. It's always interesting, you know?
yeah, I forgot our end of the year was on Christmas Eve.
Oh, what's Christmas Eve? No,
It was
Eve,
Christmas
wasn't it?
Eve.
Yeah, I was right on point with you, though, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But and I'll be honest with you, ever since we started this, because our next, I think it's either this episode or next episode. Honestly, curtain revealed, I'm pretty sure this is our 1 year anniversary, but we'll celebrate it on the next episode. Yeah, it's happening. It's been
you're wrong on the timeline.
Oh, go look at it. Go look at YouTube. Look at the first.
Not podcast.
Not a podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's been
Happy anniversary.
yeah. Thank you.
I was thinking of conceptual.
Ever since we started, I've been going back and forth. Do I pay for viewers? Because that's how a lot of these people fucking start out. They pay for, you can pay to
Right away
boost
on my
your stuff, and then you get all these random bots following you and stuff. So it looks like you got 10,000 followers.
I'm against that.
But at the same time, the little bit of plays you got at that point, then you can monetize your stuff. But I don't want to go about it that way. I'd rather have it be natural and real. But
now, though, dude, all those motherfuckers that get viral videos and shit like that, dude, they all pay for views, dude. There's just no fucking way.
That's not true, because I put up a TikTok video of Grandpa Wop. It was just a picture of Grandpa Wop, and it said Grandpa Wop coming soon.
Views.
That shit had fucking 11,000 views in like 3 days. Yes. And it was just a picture.
It's organic views.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Well,
Impossible.
Yeah,
Like you, and I'm not trying to go viral. I mean, going viral would be great. That's why I take little sections of shit that we talk about that's popular. I'll tag shit. I'll put it out. Like when we talked about Dahmer, we talked about Dahmer when it was super popular and everybody was into it. And I put it out. I put it on Reddit and tagged and shit, and that got us some views and some
That was
traction.
manly banter.
But
The manly Fanta.
you got to constantly grind at that shit, and
Dude,
and
especially
it's not
nowadays,
gonna.
because nowadays, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but nowadays, motherfuckers' attention spans are so fucking short.
Huh?
Exactly.
Well,
Like,
that's what Delphine is pointing out, though. And so, like, because this doesn't necessarily have like a theme, like, you know, I'm not going to show up for Two Mix and a Wop to have anything but you guys as characters. So, like, I think of Mute. Mute right now actually quit his job and he's working just doing Twitch, where he's playing games and talking to his fan base, and that's enough to pay for his bills. And that's because they want to watch him play a game, but they also go to him for the character that he is. You guys as characters, yeah, like if people knew about you, then they would come to see you, but you're not going to get that if you pay for the viewership like you're talking. So I don't think that's necessarily the avenue you have to go. It's more of that street team you were talking about to get people that actually watch 1 or 2 episodes and be like, I want to see more of what these guys do.
And it's funny because all of us sitting right here have been involved in shows and shit, and like talking word of mouth, like promoting, hey, we got a show this Saturday. Hey, fucking next week there's a show here. We don't talk like that about Two Mix on a Wop every day, and we should. And that's something I wanted to actually bring to the table. Like, I mean, I do. Well, he does it more than anybody, but I need to do it way more than I am. I mean, I do it a lot at work, but the fact of the matter is I'm repeating the same things to the same fucking people because we're at work. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like a Pepsi commercial, man. You see during like Super Bowls and shit, you see the same commercial over and over and over again, dude. It eventually gets stuck in your fucking head. So you can, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like,
and I mean, we still do, but I mean, we're never going to get more than like 15, 20 out of that.
Like where you say you repeat the same shit over and over and over again. That's really what you need to do to get inside people's heads. Because you can say it enough, they see it enough, and you're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? You know what I mean? I can think of a million trends and a million things that I slept on a lot of times, and we've all have, like, you know, bands, shows, anything. You know what I mean? Like throughout any media, we've all slept on something where it was going crazy, and we just ignored it. But then one day you sit down late to the party, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit all about? You know what I mean? If that makes sense, you know.
Party didn't start. I got this. I don't understand.
But you feel what I'm saying, though? Like
Reverend Supa Dr.
Yeah, Reverend.
You were saying?
Well, so, but kind of even thinking of like my brother-in-law, he does a podcast called the Euro Step. He works.
Time out. Euro Step. We're actually live on Twitch too. We have a Twitch. We're actually not just YouTube, but we're Twitch. I want to throw that out there. Euro Step. Continue, please. Sorry.
So much like you guys are using StreamYard here, he uses Blue Wire, and he actually works for the company. And yet I'll go and like occasionally like see his podcast going, and I'm the first person that's putting a like on it. It's been up for 5 days. So even he working in the industry on basketball, that's like, you know, it's a hot topic anytime the season's going, and he'll still get where I'm like the one person that looked at it. It is just kind of luck of the draw, like Dope Fiend is trying to point out, is when do you guys hop on the one fad? And as long as you keep doing what you're doing, it might be that all of a sudden it hits and everyone's like, oh, there's 26 episodes in the past we could watch to catch up on seeing where he's going now. But I don't know, like, again, outside of just trying to get the word of mouth out there, if there's anything you should be doing differently.
Well,
but
I honestly, I've talked to these guys and now it's said it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I'm going to get a billboard. There's a, like, right by Luperini's downtown of Kenosha. I want a billboard of us three and just put Two Mix and a Wop at YouTube.
So the billboard that's right outside of State Fair, we rented for a day for my mom for her birthday, just saying like happy birthday, mom, kind of thing.
If you don't mind, how much did that run you?
I was going to say it cost $300 for the day. And so that was because I picked that sign. That was the most, it's the most seen sign in all of Wisconsin. And it's right by her house. Yeah, so that's why I picked it. If you pick something,
that much then, but it would be up there because that I'm sure that one by Lou Perini's is
I'm gonna put
up there.
Right now. I'm gonna put all my taxes this year towards that.
Well, but so there was a whole nother, like, I had the choice of like 5 other ones that were like on 60th in Oklahoma or some other spots where you could have gone and gotten it for like 5 weeks for $300.
No shit.
But it would have just been this one spot like 60th in Oklahoma. Whoever sees it, sees it. So if you guys wanted to do that in Kenosha, I'm pretty sure you'll find some decent rates, unless you're going for one that are right on the highway kind of thing.
Dude, but Kenosha's political, man.
Sure, but
that's the thing. Exactly, everything is political, and we might dance on a line of political shit. We might have some political conversations. We obviously have views that are political, but this show is definitely not political.
Right.
I didn't mean political like that. I mean like everything's political as far as like how this city works. You know what I mean? And how
Right. Well,
billboards
that's
work.
the thing, though.
You know what I mean?
People will hate watch. If you're gonna hate watch all you fucking want. That means I'm getting hate views. That means I'm
Right.
getting views. You know what
Go
I'm saying?
Howard Stern on that one.
Right. People who hate, they'll subscribe. You know what I mean? If they fucking really hate it, they'll really.
What I was
subscribe.
really getting at, I'm saying like it's like through the city and shit. It's like, I mean, I don't know how it works with billboards.
Well,
and
one
shit.
thing I do know about this city is that it's all about connections, and I'm actually close friends
tell
with
me
one
about
person who does put shit up
I
on
just
that
got my-
billboard, and I'll go talk to her. Like, I don't want to put names
I
out or
also
whatever,
about
but
connections, man.
I know we can get a billboard. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I just I think
say
it,
we
I-
get a one of those planes.
Oh, with the trail?
Banner.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, cool.
Get it on the 4th of July, right down by the lake.
Well, you
Okay,
guys.
that's a good idea, but that'd be pricey. I would assume that'd be a lot more than a billboard. I
No,
would
let's
think.
put out a submarine.
I ain't lying, dude. My dad was in the 82nd Airborne, man, and he
Well, it's
skydived
underwater.
on the regular. He got access to planes. I'm just saying.
Well, there was a social experiment a while back called Andre the Giant Has a Posse. I don't know if you guys ever saw those pictures. It was like Andre the Giant looking really intense, and it just says Andre the Giant Has a Posse. Right. That's the look. And they would just have those stickers up everywhere, and they had like a little thing on there trying to say, where did you see this sticker? And you could go and mark it. And they tried showing on the global map all these stickers, like where they all went for, like somewhere in Paris, somewhere here in Milwaukee, yada, yada. If you did something like that, where you just randomly went and threw out a bunch of stickers and said, where have two Micks and a Wop been? And you made that kind of thing, that shouldn't take too much effort on you guys for making a website, but that would at least get the name out there, because that campaign, which had nothing to do except to find out how many people would go on the website, that went and had 1 million people going and posting shit on there, trying to show where they got their Andre the Giant Has a Posse. You guys could do the same with two Micks and a Wop if you wanted.
Not to mention that they're fucking local legends, man. Everybody I run into, man, they know fucking Skunk and Wag. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, and again, that's a take away from you, Sean, man. Like, you've known almost everyone in our industry for like Fright Fest and whatnot for fucking 20 years.
Exactly.
So you have enough namesake there as well.
Well, and
They're
that's the thing.
legends,
I
They're legends
haven't
in
in
their
a
own
while.
right.
I was sharing this to the Fright Fest group page because he was a part of it for a long time. I was a part of it for quite a while, and he was
Sure.
part of it for like 2 years. But I mean, they know who we are. But and that's the thing too. Even sharing that over and over and over again, I was like, man, we got to at least grab somebody from there who will be a follower. Now we have like 50 some subscribers, so I mean that's cool. Obviously, people are out there, and like it's funny. That's why we use the term lurkers for people who watch, because they don't comment, they don't email, and that's fine. But they don't comment, they don't email, they don't interact, they don't do nothing, but they watch.
I thought we used it because L, listener, L, lurker. It just kind of had like a theme.
3 L's.
Yeah,
Threes.
it's listener, lurker, you know.
What's the third L?
Laker.
I didn't know it was a
Hey,
third.
Skunk,
Oh, I thought you said 3.
you remember Q
A theme.
back in the
theme.
day? Ryan Quinonez?
Maybe if I seen
He
him.
was in Schizo and shit.
Okay, yeah.
Fucking
Schizo, who's that?
He has his own podcast now called the 262.0 Cooking Show. And I mean, I think you guys can fucking link up too, man. Like,
I'm gonna
for
have
interviews, because now Q was in prison for like fucking over 12 years, and you know the prison genre is popping like a motherfucker right now, dude. Like
it always
there's so
has
many
been. People are
YouTube
people are
videos
fast.
about
People are
people telling
fascinated with that
prison
shit.
stories
They
and
always have
shit.
been.
and that's pretty much like what he's on. But he's also doing like local hip hop shit, like covering the underground shit. But he does prison stories.
I'm gonna
should link him up for an interview, man.
Reverend. Well, I have to do that. Reverend Supa Dr. I'm gonna have to talk to you about like because there's a bigger plan that's actually grand scheme that's bigger than actually two Micks and a Wop the sitcom. But that
Okay.
I don't even want to talk about that and put it documented anywhere. I probably shouldn't even have said that, but yeah, we'll talk later. But why don't all four of you just can carry on for a second, because I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna see if I can pull something up. So guys, just kind of keep it up.
Hey,
Keep your shit
Roughneck,
up. Oh, here we go.
Right,
I shouldn't have said that.
isn't it true
Working
that
daddy, you're in there.
truth is a point of view for someone other than me or you?
You looking to pee?
Look at
In the
beach,
fire
right?
bottle?
Or bottle? giving me.
Dr. Davis.
I don't have the fart bottle. Oh, I do have the fart bottle.
I gotta pee in that.
Back to that question. Okay,
If you're dead at,
Let's
don't
make-
think I won't piss in this shit.
actually, can you repeat my question and see if Reverend
I can't do
Dr.
it. I'm
Supa
sorry.
Dave
Isn't
will maybe?
True that blues
This one's for you, Doc.
clues have
Oh yeah, well I got Dr.
Sometimes
Dave on the
do
fence
the
right now. Yo,
twos
man, how much would you charge me personally for a
with
fucking
way
for
too
a
many
consultancy?
shoes, and the screws are
You
loose.
can't hear me.
Whether they're
I
red or
apologize
blue.
for all. No, he can
Whether
hear
they're red or
you.
blue.
Supa, I apologize for all of this.
Blues.
I'm just trying to get something to show you. See, this is what I have to deal with on a podcastly basis.
You're a grown man. You can hold
Anyway,
I'm not the only one that lives here.
So I was about to ask, like, whose house is this that we're all talking in?
Would you
Some
think
just
Good
some random
question.
person.
Where
Look at
am
that
I?
backyard.
I
Mine.
don't know, man.
I mean, look at
You
that.
guys-
Look at that living
You guys are
room.
holding me
Where
against
are
my
we?
will and won't let me piss.
where did we be?
What kind of psychological
Like
effect
back
is that
here
gonna have on
is
me?
back here is the fireplace.
It's-
Well,
And
Well, I
then
don't
over
wood
here is
right
the
now.
dining room.
So, like, funny enough, like, it looks like, okay, I'm actually talking to you guys in the living room, but then Dope Fiend, because I can see.
I was gonna say, I wanted to bring that up earlier.
They're fun.
It's like, man,
I gotta pee, man.
It's actually
ruined it.
where we keep
It was
the
fine
midgets
before-
who eat
before he
the
moved the
Oreo.
camera.
That's why I said Oreo.
me
earlier.
into it.
We bring the midgets out once in a while for Oreos and vodka. ODU Granville, and yeah, he's right in front of their casing.
Okay.
What? What?
Bro, man, we're gonna piss though.
But you gotta hold it.
All right.
Or you can just have to echo.
So,
All right.
I
I'm
want
sorry.
the one Pete Mitchell one that you guys had going, and it was just this shimmering kind of a silver screen. So, do you guys switch this up every single episode?
I try to. Sometimes I use the same, like, yeah, honestly,
Sometimes we move to other people's houses when they're not home.
when we actually
now.
travel, so like when the weather's nice, we'll do this out in the backyard. We'll do this
why not?
wherever we can get
We'll do it in your
Wi-Fi.
bathroom when you're trying to shit.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
and
"Hold on,
honestly,
we're busy.
We'll still hit us up at 2mixandawop at
2mixandawop
gmail.com.
at
We'll come do it at your house. We'll come do it in your bathroom. We'll do it in an outhouse at the construction site that you work at, weather pending.
But that
We will
family,
do the podcast wherever.
the family discount's expired. Though.
Yeah, that discount
now
was
it's full
long
price.
gone.
This is 2023 now. Come on.
We are for
Yeah,
hire.
That's
shit, we're
awesome.
not dashing towards
And
billboards
that
shit.
too. How many? I mean, some podcasts travel. Some people do their podcasts at different spot. But how many people will come to you?
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
will come on
Right.
you. Or to you.
See, here we go.
Inside you.
On you.
All of you.
All over you.
No.
Wait, what?
Both ways.
Hey,
Go
Oh shit.
man.
I got
All right. So, Supa,
up there and talk to Echo.
you'd asked if I was still doing something musically, and I told you about my band Waiting on John. I'm gonna play you a song that actually he requested. It is kind of one of my favorites, called Out for Blood. It's a political song. It's my version of a political song. It's basically, long story short,
Can't you just let the viewer get their
All right.
own perception?
all right, if you want, we'll talk about it. We'll talk. We'll talk about it. I know. I'm
All right.
sorry. I
That's
just
so much to me, and I want to thank you for listening now.
see what I gotta deal with. Oh.
What do you gotta deal with?
Oh.
What is your whole spiel with? This,
Window,
that,
contact,
right to left.
Facebook. Sure.
You're just stuck in the middle. You're just stuck in the middle.
That's Chuck. Let's just get right in. Sorry.
Cannibal.
Nicely done.
Thank you, sir. I'll leave it up to you. We're running out of time, and I'm feeling froggy. Do you want to hear one more, or no? It's your call.
Sure.
All right.
I'm here.
Because
I'm here. Why not?
I figured if we're gonna do this, we need to play, honestly, probably the favorite of everybody in the band, and probably the one that's probably the most polished.
Well
welcome,
Not too bad. Not too bad.
welcome, Mr. JP Hutchison. Welcome. Honestly, okay. So, and listeners, lurkers, Reverend Supa, Dr. Dave, cooked people. That is my first ever reveal of Waiting on John and Two Micks and a Wop. So, what'd you guys think? Supa, you heard obviously more. Cooked people. Any retorts is great.
I think it sounded great. Your drums are a little bit heavy where it kind of drowned out some things, but it was on point. It's just a matter of the audio.
It's hard to hear the guitar for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It sounded like shit because of the quality of how it was set up, but if you recorded it properly, I'm sure it would sound fucking great.
Well, before we started, before I played this, I was telling Reverend Supa that we're gonna hit the studio and probably I don't know if I told you the actual date, but we're gonna be hitting in like March, April. So we got like 12 or 13 original tracks we'll be recording. So it's exciting.
Awesome.
Honestly, as for making music for 30 plus years, I've never been in a studio ever.
Wow.
It's not as fun as you.
I recorded with Trixie that track "Who Am I." This dude, blue hair on. It was an in-home studio.
Prof ripped that shit off. That's debatable anyway.
Yeah, debatable. Sorry I didn't send you the invite earlier. It was a.
Are you good, baby? No, I had shit doing, and yeah.
No, I know. But yeah.
No, well done. And again, glad you were able to get it out there. And when you ever get polished, your voice, you can hear you hit the notes very clearly, and you have a unique voice. Your drummer, like I said, he's on point, but it's drowning out everything.
Yeah.
So that's like once you get the actual like kind of levels going well, sure, it's going to sound that much better.
For sure. Dude, I've put that phone up and the camera up in so many different spots in that fucking jam spot to try and get a good sound.
Dude, you're not. It's drums.
No, I know.
Like, they're designed to be heard for fucking miles, bro. You're not gonna. Yeah, guitar. No, bro. That ain't gonna fucking happen.
It looks like we might have lost camera.
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah, you guys are frozen.
That's all right. Yeah, we were.
Not that cold out.
We were wrapping some things
Tell
up.
my nipples that.
That one for you, Reverend Supa Jackson David. I don't even listen anymore.
Oh shit!
There you are.
Like that. Well, that's just a whop and a half a couple mix.
Just getting a hug.
Holy shit! The green screen looks a million times better though.
Did the other fucking Mick go for a cigarette again?
That fucking prick. Probably.
This guy's got jokes.
I like how it froze right there.
Look, he's about to go down on that microphone. Oh, that's how we see it. They don't see anything. I don't know why it's like
Nope.
that.
Here, frozen again. Now you guys are just gone.
Right? They left us unsupervised. What the fuck?
Right, it's me and you now. So welcome to
Shit.
Reverend Supa Dave and Cook People Media.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all want to hear some fucked up stories about Great America?
Sure.
Nah, I don't know. It's like fucking. I'm just talking on my ass. Hey, they're back.
What the fuck, man? Shit's getting weird. All right.
Hey, you know what I used to do as a kid? Like with three-way calling? I just randomly call like
Oh my God.
And be like, hello. They'd answer the phone and be like, yeah, hold on, just hold on a second, hold on. I like click over to another line, dial another number, and wait for that other person to answer, and then just click over. So that was exactly what we just did to these.
Right.
In the glue dot.
We just ditched them to
CPM?
talk to each other.
RSDDs.
Give me a number. Give me a number. 7. Give me a number.
Shit.
Any number. One number. One digit. 1 to 9. Give me a number, Supa.
4.
Give me a number, Mr. Hutchinson.
6.
And we will end it with 3.
Oh, we just crank calls. This is awesome.
Please check the number and dial again.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
Oh. If I wasn't watching this on my phone, I could go through and give you some people's numbers to
let's
call. That'd
see.
be fucking hysterical.
Let's see. We'll do what's a good 3 515. That's a good one. Okay. Give me a number, Reverend Supa. 1 number.
4.
4.
Let's stick with 4 again.
Cooked. What you got?
2.
What you got, Delphine?
I wanted 2.
2 again it is. All right. And then we are represented by 3. So, all right. This should be fun.
Record this.
Oh, Christ.
Ringing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Who's up at midnight that wants a random phone call?
And then, you know what's funny is maybe I should be doing this from like I don't know, like one of those random numbers.
A burner phone?
Yeah.
Landlines still work.
Star 67 still works. I have to do that for therapy every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Hi, you've reached Janelle Physical Therapy.
Physical therapy? Is that what you just said?
Therapy. Yeah.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays,
knows the
8 to
number.
4:30 p.m.
Let me intro it.
If you've reached this voicemail on the day that I'm not working and you need to contact our office, it is 414-327-2295. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and call 911.
Hi, this is WAP from
After
Two
you
Mix.
have finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Hi, this is the WAP from Two Mix and a WAP, and you missed a call from us live on our show. You were the lucky random number generator for a prize, but unfortunately, you missed the call. You don't get the prize. But be sure to check out Two Mix and a WAP, the number 2 Mix and a WAP on YouTube, and hit us up at 2mixandawap@gmail.com. Check us out on all our socials, and have a lovely, wonderful evening. Oh, I think
every loser here, don't.
All right. Have a wonderful night.
To listen to your message, press 1.
You could have someone call back demanding their goddamn prize.
Oh shit! I'm actually on the show.
Sorry, but
Kinda,
it's
not
not
really.
a valid entry. To listen to your message, press 1.
Just hang up.
See, that's Pete always yells at me because I'm one of those guys where I want to. I'm looking up here. Now it's right here. I'm looking at you. I'm one of those guys that I want to hear the fucking broad tell me that the message was sent. Now I don't know if this fucking broad's ever going to get this message. What? Because I just hung up? Because I said it?
Yes.
Just reading it back to. How do you?
That's
know?
how technology works.
Well, technology don't fucking work all the time.
That's because you're into nowhere.
Ask episode 22 and 17.
Well, and as we're talking to like basically half Mix and WAP, so it doesn't always work well.
Well,
You know, them potato
we've gone
eaters
over
don't
our
know a
2-hour
damn
limit
thing.
at a 2-hour limit. This camera that I keep staring at a 2-hour limit, that one cuts out, the battery dies. So I just switched to the Surface.
You told me we had 10 minutes left. I wanted you to hear one of my songs.
Oh yeah, I
Dr.
guess we
Dave.
can do that now. So what?
I'm gonna give Dr. Dave the choice, okay? Because I am a rapper. And thank you, by the way, to Two Mix and a WAP for even doing this for me. This is not no cash grabs, and I've known these guys for years and years and years. I got
get to the juice. Get to the juice. I love you. I love you, but get to the juice. Let's see what's
okay, so you get 2 choices. You want to hear some gangster shit, or do you want to hear some emotional shit?
Well, I suppose that being a therapist, I should hear the emotional shit.
Okay.
Not the popular opinion, but look at
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, CD Baby.
Sitting past.
My bad. Forgot those rules. I ain't drank or smoked in 2 weeks.
What's it called?
Well, I'm gonna smoke my bowl then.
What?
Space. A
Dash.
N
Period.
L.
Pass.
Question mark.
W.
Money sign.
P.
Nipple.
Enter.
Your mom.
There you go. Right there. It's this is featuring Andre Baskin, who was serving a life sentence in Green Bay Maximum after
Carol Baskins.
Yeah, pretty much R.I.P. Andre Baskin, because we did this track together, and then 3 months later he went on to murder the woman he was talking about in this song, and he's serving a life sentence in Green Bay Max. So look up Andre Baskin.
Now that don't sell.
Yeah, great.
Right.
Good old Wisconsin.
Yeah. You know, that's funny because a dude that we used to rap with, I don't know, there was a dude towards the end.
Oh, you're muted now.
Now-
There you are.
Towards the end of the Mausoleum run and all that shit, there was a dude that was associated with us, and he ended up what did he do? He went over to some dude's house and shot some dude, some broad or something.
I was very close with the friend.
It was what do you call that? A hate? What do you call it? A passion, crime of passion. It was girlfriend related, was it not?
Kind of.
That's crime of passion.
Who was it?
I can break it down in less than a minute.
Okay,
here's your Kenosha
you got 60 seconds. Go.
Here we go. So what happened was fucking Jacob Rogers, who's a little bitch, and we all know that. Fucking he had you jump, correct? There you go. And anyway, this motherfucker, his baby was born. Andrew, who the dude he killed, was one of his best friends. Let him stay there rent free. Fucking did everything for him. Bought him food. Bought his fucking girl food. All that shit. Fucking anyway, $100 came up missing. He thought that fucking he did it, and he shot him 5 times while he was sleeping, with no proof that he took this money. Turned out at the end of the day, after he got locked up, the money was found in his girl's shoe.
Oh. Well, that's. I thought it was
related.
I thought it was a crime of passion.
His chick jacked him, and fucking it was a crime of passion for some bullshit.
All right, well, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, that's the dude locally that we used to rap with that ended up killing somebody over some dumb shit. Is basically the
He's a hoe.
moral of the story. So yeah, this is his track. I guess we're gonna do this. I guess. Yeah, I did. That's why I brought it up.
Oh. Yeah, so listen to the lyrics of this, man. It's very deep. This is probably the deepest song I got, man. And let me know what you think.
You know, I just noticed that you guys are on like the same camera, basically.
Well,
that's kind of
Left
cool.
Mick let me take his seat.
This is Left Mick's seat, but this is Right Mick over here.
He's being a good host. He let me take for a second while he eats some.
So I don't know what the last line was.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. My bad.
Props.
Well done, man.
Anna Bird, my niece, for singing that.
Is her?
I wanted the Whop in me's got to make a bad joke. All right,
Do it.
His daddy raised him right. That's why he fucking in a clink for murder for the rest of his life. No, I'm not knocking. It was a good emotional track. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with me and like, no. All right, I'm gonna hold this in. I'm gonna hold this back. I'm gonna go after. I'm gonna let them talk. Now, Reverend Supa Dr. Dave. He's heard a lot of music. He's a very intelligent man. Cooked People Media, on the other hand, he is. He's been involved with Rapcats and a lot of Juggalos and stuff like that.
And
so
also intelligent.
He's and he's also a writer, and he's also intelligent, and he's also don't pull no punches. So I would like to hear what they had to say before. Okay,
Super, you went first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I mean, you had good flow. It got a little repetitive, but otherwise, I actually really liked it.
Thank you, appreciate that.
And I know that's your niece, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
She viola and you know, she's filled in for like the Felix Harmonics in New York.
Awesome.
You know, yeah, dude, she's great.
Yeah, you never. Like I said, it was a little bit repetitive. Like it was, your flow is good, but you need to have like a crescendo every once in a while. Otherwise,
right on. I mean, that was a song too, where it's like, you know, that's like it's a real melodic track, and it's like, you know, it was meant to be that way. You know, like
what? I heard it.
I feel what you're saying, though. Like, I feel what you're saying. Like no, you're dead. You hit the nail on the head with that shit. Real talk.
So sorry, I believe it's Tubby, but go ahead, Cook People.
It is. I ain't heard that name in decades. But fucking honestly, overall, the pieces of it were pretty fucking solid. How they were put together is what's lacking. the way that the connecting, I don't really call it a hook, but what your niece did was dope as fuck, on point, sounded great, but you coming in with your bars while she's still singing fucks it up.
Okay, and I can see that too. And you gotta understand too. I didn't actually piece it together. My nephew Abel Birthday, we recorded in separate studios. They're down in Alabama. I'm signed to a record label out of Alabama, and we do, so I mean, and that's my early work too, man. And I definitely see what you're saying. I can see where that would be an issue for some people.
Well, I mean, it's good.
This is just constructive criticism from two guys that are like here at one time.
I love it though, because you know what, dude? Nobody's perfect, and every artist, no matter how dope they fucking are, can always take constructive criticism. And I really thank you guys for giving me your honest opinions.
Fair enough.
It's not bad.
But fuck you if you didn't like it.
I want to talk about that specific style of a rap track. And what bothers me about this, okay? That, to me, that was everything I ever fucking wrote, man. Was always, that's why I left that horrorcore shit in the first place, because I didn't want to be rapping about something that I wasn't doing. You know what I mean? And like, I could rap like the best juggalo, kill, murder, cult shit. And I still could, because, and I mean no disrespect.
It's easy.
No, it is right there. And that's you right. Said it, not me. And I was like, I came to a point, and honestly, it had issues with a lot of motherfuckers when I did this back in the day. But I'm like, dude, I can't do that anymore. I got to rap about me. And at that point, and from that point on,
that's why I have
everything
so many problems with people that I do, and you know this to be true.
Right. But from that point and that point on, any bars that I spit on any track was this poured up an open fucking art. So every fucking like when like you hear these gangster like prime example, when you said you want to hear some gangster shit or do you want to hear an emotional track? Well, to me, whether it's gangster or emotional or whatever, it's always emotional because it's always real. Because
well, there's going on with genres.
Well, no, I know what you're saying, but you get. My point was that, like, no matter what, if it's an aggressive track, if it's a fucking gangster track, if it's a fucking like chill back kick track, it was always real. There was not anything that was ever spit that wasn't 100% true to the fucking word, because I felt like as an MC, and I still feel this way as an MC and as a dude who raps, if you ain't about all you have is your fucking words. You're not playing an instrument. Right. You're not making those fucking beats you're rapping over. 100%. All you got is your words. And if you're not coming 100% fucking correct and true and real, then you ain't a real MC. That's how I look at it. Now Now, some people will say, you know what? Well, this shit is real to me. This is my real shit, whether it's a subgenre or whatever, and that's cool. And maybe that is for not. I'm just saying, like, not you, but in general, anybody. You know what I'm saying? They're into certain something. And
when I'm listening, the first thing you said was my problem with this. Like, what is this?
Well, that's what I wasn't. I prefaced all of this is my problem with a rap track that's emotional. Everybody always has one. You know what I'm saying?
The last track on the CD.
Right. He like renditions of reality, Twisted, like fucking the We Love God Now, ICP
Crystal
track.
Ball.
But anybody's fucking last song is always the fucking The Prayer, DMX, fucking we can go on and on and on. You pick any fucking hip hop album, one of the last 2-3 tracks is an emotional, heartfelt fucking you're getting the real dude right there. And that's what pisses me off, because when I put out something, every goddamn track, you're getting the real dude. It's not some studio gangster. It's not some fucking, well, he's telling some shit that's kind of funny because it's a good line or because it raps good or because whatever, because it sounds good. No, none of that shit. It's all 100% true and real life shit. And that's to me what an MC is. Now, you can use guns and shit as a metaphor or whatever the fuck, because I know it goes to the hip hop culture, but the fact of the matter, to me, an MC, if everything that comes out of your mouth ain't 100% true and real, then you ain't 100% true and real. That's how I look at it. It's my take.
Well, I mean, when I offered up the tracks. I was really just kind of, trying to mix it up to where the point where,
You are taking this too personally. I took a track that you did as a reality track, and I'm using that as an example.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hating on that track. I'm not even really talking about that track. I'm talking about like the presentation, if that makes sense. And it's not even about that track. It's about in hip hop MC as a whole. All these cats. That's why I threw out DMX. So I just compared you to all the greats. So if anything, you should be like, "Hey, thanks, bro." I'm
took it a different way. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
You also have to realize that music has changed. Music has changed a lot. We used to have a lot of great fucking storytellers. Like, for example, in hip hop, Tupac. Tupac was a prime example of a storyteller. He spoke. He was a poet. He spoke for people in those situations that he was never in until he became famous, which is pretty fucking ironic. But he spoke for people, and he always came out and admitted that, I sold drugs once and I got robbed and said no. He was a storyteller. But like people nowadays, you see where it's like the shit going on with Young Thug, his stupid ass all his people talking about killing certain people in certain ways that's not known in any publication besides to the people involved and the police. And but that's how you get your real nowadays.
Well, the thing is, rap
group
music,
of C murders.
Rap music, like metal music, like with the exception of metal music, but rap music and all these you don't even know what I'm going to say. You can't say
Go for it. I guarantee I know what you're gonna fucking say.
It's spawned from society and what society has become. And like, for instance, I could take the same thing out of music and compare it to something from wrestling. When we were kids, all the wrestlers had gimmicks, right? Storytelling, right? Papa Shango, the fucking Repo Man, Demolition. Everybody was a gimmick, right? Now it's John Cena, Roman Reigns, fucking Steve Willoughby, fucking John from down the street. Fuck, there's no story, there's no gimmick, there's no juice, man. And that's kind of
that's comparing apples and oranges, because a lot of shit happening.
No, it's not, because
you really want to go down the wrestling rabbit hole, bro? When cocaine left the WWE,
will you let me finish?
And Shawn Michaels took fucking McMahon's dick out of his mouth.
Can I finish my point before you counter? Well, okay, you can talk about AEW because it's the supreme wrestling faction. How many fucking gimmick characters are there? How many Undertakers? How many fucking dark themed characters? They're not, because everybody just wants the juice. Who cares about the presentation? It's the same concept with rap music. They don't even give a fuck what rappers are saying anymore. As long as the beat's cool, it's still rap. So that's why people are. But there's a difference in that, because, and there is also the whole subgenre of rap that was spawned from the fucking Xanax generation, where these motherfuckers just want to get fucked up, and that's part of what all comes from the beat. And either way, it's all. All right, man.
Hey, man. No, and I feel what you were saying, man. And fucking, dude, like, I feel bad because like I felt like I fucking was coming at you.
No.
Yeah, right, bro.
Thanks, Dolphin, for the show.
I got a show coming up.
Dolphin's out of here. He's got to do rapper things.
Go dope. But no, dude, I feel you, Wap. I do.
You see what I'm saying, though? Like,
I feel you.
Just as a generalization, because I feel like society takes things in different now.